Well, good morning, kids. How is everybody doing? I've been gone for about a week or so here. Had to take care of some business out of town, and now I'm back. And I have my coffee. I hope you have your coffee too. Oh, goodness. There is so much to talk about. You're gone for a short period of time, and everything gets topsy-turvy. The news just goes absolutely crazy. Oh boy, oh boy. Ah, the world is a nutty place, and I don't know if I'll be able to get to everything I want to talk about, but we're just gonna roll with it, and we're gonna just get going, talk about the different things that I want to talk about, enjoy some coffee, and we'll see what topics we can cover today. That happened. That's happening now, and that happened during my sabbatical. Let's call it. But first, of course, I have to greet everybody on the different platforms that I'm on. Hello to everybody on Bitwave. Hello to everybody on Periscope. Hello to everybody on DLive. Hello to everybody on YouTube. And I mean, let's get right into this whole thing. It's pretty funny. Some big news items, actually. Well, you know what? Before I go into the really big news items, let's talk about some interesting stuff that kind of happened that's newsworthy, but not necessarily giant national news. Apparently I get more attention on YouTube than I thought. I thought that my YouTube presence was veritably nil, to be honest. Looking at my analytics, I don't really see a whole lot going on there. I don't see a lot of viewers. I don't see a lot of subscribers. I don't see a whole lot of anything. Yet, somehow, I'm on YouTube's radar. I get a notice saying that one of my videos has been removed. The last weekly episode, actually. The episode of last Thursday, which was on August. Let me get the date up correctly here because I want to make sure I'm accurate. August 6th. If I'm not mistaken, my August 6th episode. Episode 47 of The Abyss, the weekly stream, got completely BTFO'd by YouTube, just nuked. Because I dared to speak about COVID. I dared to call out the inaccuracies of COVID, of the CDC. Oh, you accidental bad boy, you. Yeah, ain't that right, Illustrator? Hello and welcome to the stream, by the way. Hello, Troll PTPP. I'm not sure if Dispatch and Super Susie are in my current stream because I don't have a timestamp here. Thanks, Dispatch. No, I do have a timestamp, actually. Susie is. Hi, Susie. How you doing? That message from Dispatch must be old. But yeah. Basically, because I talked about COVID, and the funny thing is this, I've had multiple streams on this topic. It's not like it's a unique stream. It's not like I've talked about this only once. It's not like I've never mentioned the CDC before. Somehow this one ruffled YouTube's feathers. I'm sorry. And I don't even know why, because in all my streams, I've actually never straight out said that the CDC is full of crap. I've never straight out said that the CDC guidelines should not be followed. I've never gone out of my way to contradict them. I've only provided all the information that's out there, CDC and other research and studies. And news article. Ain't that right, Illustrator? I am the Lord your disease, thou shalt not have other diseases before me. Yeah, I've angered the YouTube gods. So I appealed because that's an option. I went through the appeal process, and I haven't even gotten an acknowledgement from them. Well, yeah, I did. That's the big thing, because I've talked about those studies and I've talked about doctors that use hydroxychloroquine, and hell, I may even get this video banned now because I'm just mentioning that there are studies that say it work. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. I don't know if I'm gonna get that video back. I did record the entire stream, so I may try and upload it again, see what happens. Though I may be poking the giant on that one. We'll see. I don't know. I have to think about that and see what I want to do. I haven't decided whether I want to upload the archive version of it, the recorded version, or not. Sipping my coffee. So we'll see what happens with that. And the other thing that I found interesting that may be related to YouTube is because I've noticed that I've been getting a lot of emails from the DNC headquarters. And I did not sign up for that. So someone must have gotten a hold of my email. Most likely through YouTube, because I think that you can see my email on the dummy email that I use on YouTube. And whoever did that, I think they were trying to do that to troll me or, you know, piss me off or something like that. Honestly, you've done me a huge favor and you provided a lot of comic relief. So whoever added me to the DNC mailing list, I want to thank you, because I, out of my own volition, would not have wanted to do that. But now I'm privy to every single communication that the DNC headquarters sends out to people, and you cannot believe the amount of desperation in those emails. Just take every mention of hydroxychloroquine with the bicycle horn sound effects and you re-upload. Yeah, you know, maybe I can do that. You know, if I mention the ha thing, you know. Yeah. I do have a bicycle horn, actually, an actual bicycle horn I could use. Just keep it as a prop on my desk and just, you know, use it whenever I need to. Oh, they've been sending email after email after email. Hi Mark, by the way, thank you for joining the stream. They've been sending email after email after email, begging for money, saying how fantastic the convention is gonna be, which happens today. Actually, it starts today. There's the 4-day DNC National Convention here. It's happening today. It's gonna be quite the clown show, I think. The funny thing to me about it, more than anything, is that a couple of news tidbits that have come out is that in the email, actually, speaking of the email that they sent out, they don't even have Biden as top billing. I swear, it's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. They have Obama as the top billing on the DNC National Convention. His text, his name is in the biggest font. And they have Biden and Kamala Harris in smaller text. It is pretty comical, to be honest with you. That the guy that's supposed to be your president isn't even your top billing when you're trying to sell the convention to people. That's where the DNC is right now. They're desperate for money. I've been getting email after email saying, "Give us $7. Give us just $7," which is an odd number. I'm not sure why they picked 7. Nope, not Bernie. Not Bernie. Nope, nope. Nope, not at all. So let me see if I can bring up that email actually, because I won't put it up on screen, but yeah, actually, even funnier than that is it's not that just Obama is a top billing in the coming, because they have two sections in their email. They have the main section for today, and then the coming up on August 18th, 19th, and 20th. So the ones that today, Michelle Obama has the top billing, and then you have Bernie Sanders, Senator Catherine Cortez Masto, Andrew Cuomo, Gretchen Whitmer, Rep. Jim Clyburn, Rep. Benny Thompson, Rep. Gwen Moore, former Governor Kasich. Which, is it any surprise to anybody that Kasich is speaking at the DNC? The guy always seemed like a rhino to me from the very beginning. I was never convinced that he was conservative. He always seemed like a piece of garbage person, and the way he acted. And I don't understand how someone could just stuff entire pancakes in their mouth. But then you have Senator Doug Jones and Amy Klobuchar and more that are speaking today. But it's funny. Kasich, that's the only conservative thing about him. Yeah, that's the only thing that was conservative about him, that he was just more fiscally conservative. But I mean, during the election, I mean, he proved pretty thoroughly that there was nothing really conservative about him. And oh no, no Tulsi Gabbard. They did give some time to AOC, and the funny thing is they only gave her 60 seconds. They only gave her 60 seconds because she's a liability. They don't want her to talk for too long, but they wanted to put her up there because they know that there are some far socialist left people that like her. So they threw her in there for just 60 seconds, and they're gonna kick her out after 60 seconds because they don't want her to cause any damage. So I find that to be very funny. That they're barely giving her like, boop, okay, get out of here. Nobody wants you around. Speaking of AOC, that's the other thing that happened last week. Not last week, but these past like 2 weeks or so, there have been a lot of primaries voting that has been happening, primary elections. And one that happened last week was last Tuesday, where Minnesota had a chance to unprimary, like, get rid of Ilhan Omar, and they did not. Not too long ago, there was Tlaib for Michigan, and she's still on the ticket. AOC apparently won her primary, so she's gonna go up against the other challengers. Hey, Meave, welcome to the stream. Good morning. Oh, thank you for saying you're glad I'm on. I really appreciate that. I truly do. Um, so it seems like the squad. I don't know about Ayanna Presley, because honestly, she's like the bottom rung of the squad. She doesn't. Nobody really cares about what she says so much. It's the more controversial ones are Tlaib, Omar, and AOC, because they say some incredibly egregious stuff. They saying some incredibly racist, misogynistic, or misandrist, actually, in this case, because they do a lot of man bashing, sexist, racist, anti-Semitic. In the case of Ilhan Omar, she said homophobic things. So it's it stands to reason that that's why they create more controversy. And then you have AOC, who just says the most stupid things on this planet. The woman basically has no real brain, and that's like the gerbil that's supposed to spin in her head. I think the gerbil's been dead a long time. Yeah. The interesting thing, though, is that they're not unchallenged. They are not unchallenged, and what the commonality that I've seen, in all those primaries where Omar is now going to be the she didn't get unseated in the primaries, neither did Tlaib or AOC, is that for the most part, the only reason why they were able to stay as the primary candidate was tribalism. That was essentially it. In Minnesota, you have a huge Somali population, and that's why she got the votes. In the Bronx, you have a huge Latino population, that's why you have AOC. In Dearborn, Michigan, you have a huge Muslim Arab population, Middle Eastern population, that's why you got Tlaib. So this isn't a matter of whether they like their policies, if like the people of those individual cities like the policies or anything like that. It's pure tribalism. It's all it is. It's just basing your vote on the ethnicity of your candidate, which to me is probably the worst reason to ever vote for someone. There's two reasons that I would always suggest to someone, never use these two reasons to vote for someone. One is their ethnicity. Two, basing your vote on a single item of policy. Those are the two biggest mistakes people can make when it comes to giving your vote to someone. And it's not just ethnicity. Using a single factor of this individual that is tribal in nature, either it's religion or gender or sexual orientation, or anything that basically you use in a discriminatory fashion, because that's really what you're doing. If you're using race to judge someone, you're being racist. Even if it's a good judgment. It's still you're still just basing and judging this person on their race or their religion. Sorry, drinking some more of my coffee. No, basically, if you vote for someone, it should be a whole package thing. It should be that their policies and their beliefs and their track record and themselves, their personality, their intelligence, their problem-solving skills, if they have a track record, base yourself on their track record, be it a political track record or a corporate track record. See, you gotta take the candidate as a whole package. The way I see it, if you don't do that, you're doing a disservice to not only yourself, because you're putting someone there who doesn't really represent what you want, but you're also hurting everybody in your community as well, because now you're supporting someone that not only will hurt you, will hurt your entire community and your entire district, and will not represent your needs, will not represent you. I mean, that's the whole point of sending someone to Washington or to state government, is that they're supposed to represent what you want. And if I'm Catholic, like I've said many times on stream that I am, and it's in my bio, if I send someone who's just Catholic to be a representative or be a senator or be a governor, that's meaningless. Look how many representatives are, quote, Catholic, and they are not Catholic in the least in the way they behave and the laws that they vote on. So that's why, to me, when people are just so tribal in their way of thinking, that to me is a very poor litmus test to use for whom to give your vote. I think it's a very poor litmus test, and it reeks of, you know, lack of any sort of critical thinking. It's very much, and it's all, and it also goes along with like those some people that say vote blue no matter who, or, you know, on the vice versa, vote red no matter who. I know, right? Dispatch, welcome to the stream, by the way, sir. Collectivists, am I right? Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame to me, and this isn't unique to just one side. I'm not saying that this is unique to only Democrats, but you do have a lot of single issue voters. You have a lot of people that vote based only on you know, this tribalism, and you have people that have this cult think mentality, and that's a big problem. Hey, DSP official, welcome to the stream. Predict Andrew Yang Gang's gonna beat him out? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. Is he gonna? Is the question is this? Is he gonna squirt whipped cream in people's mouths though if he wins? Because if he's gonna do that, he got my vote. Because I'm a whipped cream single issue voter. There's nothing wrong with cult mentalities. Well, let's agree to disagree on that one. I like to think it's better to be more free thinking, to be more of a critical thinker. But Geek 2020, the dream is alive. I don't know about that, Illustrator. So you have that happening right now. You got the DNC convention. I'm sure someone might be live streaming it because it's virtual. All of it's virtual for the most part. It's gonna be mostly virtual. You're gonna have just people zooming it up. Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't do this properly. Hi Nexus, hi Nexus, hi Nexus, hi Nexus. Hey Neomorph, welcome to the stream. Yes, I am live, Jeggle. Troll Jeggle, Jegl, Jeggle, Jiggle Jeggle. I don't know. Yes, sir, I am live, and I am drinking my coffee. I gotta do it right when Nexus comes on stream. I have to do the proper greeting. Call you Jewy. Okay, Jewy, that works. So yeah, moving on. And speaking of the DNC and politics and voting and how people vote and all that kind of stuff, Joe made his pick finally last week. Oh yes, Jewy, the comment photo cropper. Thank you, sir. You are essential to my stream. You're becoming an essential worker. So in a crisis, you'll be the one that has to keep going to work for me. Yes, I've been adding more of those to my slideshow, so that's always entertaining. But yes, Kamala Harris is the VP pick. Biden mystery meat. Oh jeez. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. And there's already controversy over that. There's already controversy because Rush Limbaugh said, called their ticket the Joe and the Ho, because of Kamala Harris's questionable past. And the thing is this, okay? All right, I know that people don't want to bring up improprieties of other people in the past, but let's just be honest though, because this is something that Kamala Harris was brought up during the primaries, because the what's his name, Willie, was it Mayor Willie? At the time, he himself admitted that he had an affair with Kamala Harris and she used that affair for her own benefit. Did I expect civility from Bitwave? Oh no. Oh hell no. I thought that was Zero that was supposed to be radicalized by me, not you, Fraulein. So everybody's trashing Rush Limbaugh right now because he called her out on what she actually did. Okay, so maybe he didn't really use nice language. All right, so I can understand why people may have been a little upset with Rush Limbaugh about the type of language that he used to refer to her activities. But I mean, let's forget the language for a moment. She engaged in sleeping with a politician to gain political favor, and she got a job out of it, and the mayor admitted to it. The guy said so himself. He appointed her in political positions because he was sleeping with her. Well, I mean, it's true. That's what I'm saying. Absolutely, me. I just would say if that's what people are upset about, if people are upset about the language, though, I would say, well, forget about the language and just look at the facts. And the facts are whether Rush used language that people like or dislike. What she did was true, though. What he says that she did is true. The mayor admitted to it. There was articles about this during the primaries. Kamala, no one. That's why people call her. There's a lot of different nicknames for her. That they call her Horizontal Harris for that reason. I've used that hashtag when referring to her. I'm not gonna lie, because it just shows the kind of person that she is. Yeah, she got to the top through sleeping with people, with sleeping with politicians, especially this mayor. I can't remember his last name. New Bitwave user? Who would that be, Fraulein? Who's the new new Bitwave user? I'm not sure who you're referring to. Willie Brown! That's right. His name is Willie Brown. Because your picture is an integral part of Bitwave. It shows up here and there. Yeah, Willie Brown. That's who it was. It was Mayor Willie Brown. He slept with Kamala Harris, and Kamala Harris got favors out of it. He admitted he gave her jobs based off of that. Yes, she also put a lot of people in jail for pot while she was smoking pot. Oh, you're talking to Jewy, huh? My bad. And now she's trying to be like a law and order person when she also used Tulsi Gabbard really slammed her in one of the debates talking about this, saying, because a lot of people in California felt that Kamala Harris's record as an AG was not good. They said they felt that she used prisoners as cheap state labor. She didn't give appeal to people. She the sentences and the persecution that she did for some criminals were over the top. I understand that 005. Yeah, so there's a lot of problems with her track record and the fact that she even makes shit up. I mean, she just makes stuff up. Yeah, she was basically part of the prison industrial complex, if that's what we want to call it. Yeah, I agree with that, Mark Pugner. Uh, but she also just makes stuff up. Like she was talking about, she was listening to she was listening to Tupac. Before Tupac even released any albums. So she's as fake as they come. She's as an opportunist as they come. She is those typical carpetbagger politicians Well, if by hot you mean an absolute disgusting mess, then sure, I guess she's hot. I don't know. I'm not into cackling liars, but hey, you do you. Uh, but, but anyways, her record speaks for herself. And then not on top of that, just look at how how she behaved during the debates. I mean, just look at the debates. She looked like she was drunk on stage. She barely could debate properly. She called Biden a racist, essentially. Yeah, that there's maybe truth in that, Illustrator, that Kamala Harris is to Biden what Palin was to McCain, a more dynamic president that tries to distract from what a disaster the main candidate is. Yeah, there's definitely that. Um, so yeah, there's probably some of that going on there for sure. But I think of all the people that they could have chosen, I mean, honestly, to me, there was never a good candidate. Of all the people, and the funny thing was this, actually, before I get into that. Um, so she calls him a racist. She says that she believes all accusers of sexual improprieties. So if that's the case, she is running with a racist and a rapist because Tara Reid accused Biden of rape. But somehow she's okay with that when it comes to Biden. I don't know about that, Neomorph. I think there are some people you can get behind. Because, like, to me, I don't look at the person so much per se. I look more. I mean, when the person has some very egregious personality issues, I mean that is something to consider. But you also have to look at their record, and you have to look at their policies, and you have to see how those policies get implemented. Like, a lot of people have take issue with Trump because of his personality, just how he talks, how he acts. And if you're from New York, or if you've been in New York, and I've been in New York, you'll see that a lot of people are like that in New York, believe it or not. This isn't something unique to Trump. I've known personally, face to face, many people that act, talk, and behave in that fashion. And it's just how he is. But the thing that, for example, like for me, the reason why I think that Trump is a better candidate for re-election, for example, is that the policies that he's put forth have actually benefited America. And the policies that he's talking about are beneficial to America. And if it were any other president, I can promise you this: if it was any other person in the White House right now, DMs, I get DMs now. I didn't know I got DMs. Oh, in Discord. Um. Oh, okay, okay. What? What's that? What's that all about with the conversation grab? Okay. Yeah, let me get that to you, Nexus. The game thing. I'll get that to you after stream because I gotta. Honestly, I don't remember off the top of my head what the. You need the character name? Is that what you need? Or do you need my gamer tag? Yeah, I forgot I was supposed to get that to you. Um, but anyways, I'll get that information to you. But what's going on with that conversation grab that you're talking about? Let's see. Oh, it's about zero. Okay, I'll take a look at that. Yeah, send it over to me. I'll read it over here. But the funny thing is this, when it comes to when it comes to politics, and that's what I mean. Like I was saying before, uh, that's why I say the policies are more important, because whether you like the guy or not, like for example, I wasn't a fan of Obama, but I didn't have an issue with him in terms of being not a fan of him as a person. I took issue with his policies because his policies were hurting America. They were changing America for the worse. That's where where I had more issue. So that to me is where the main problem is. Okay, let's see. What is this about? Is this about Kitty? Oh wow. We're talking about Kitty now. So let's see. The pirate man Leo. He literally restreamed his streams for all 16 hours a day. His stream was called Danish Police. So he was the dispatch for the Danish police. But for every second Kitty Styles was streaming, he was stream sniping, and if Kitty Styles wasn't streaming, he was playing train footage. And got thousands of dollars from Stream.me doing this by sheer volume of the time spent streaming. Then when he got shit canned and he cloned a bunch of streaming software and whipped up a god awful platform on Node.js, Node.js in a month. And people are begging me every day, every single fucking day without pause to use this guy's shit. And if I say no, they get abusive about it. Okay. So that's what Kitty did when in the Stream.me days. For those that may be uninitiated, that may be listening in on this, and they're like, "Who's Kitty? What is Kitty?" Kitty Styles is a Danish individual who allegedly molested his sister, younger sister, and which is why they call him. They That's why the internet has lovingly dubbed him the Sister Fister. Uh, uh, I'm sorry, that's just funny. I shouldn't be laughing at that, but it is funny. But anyways, the point is, DJ Sister Fista. Oh god. Anyways, he was not a very pleasant fellow. He streamed online. He was very abusive to those that watched and listened to him, and he was just not a pleasant individual all around. Until finally, he just got banned on just about every platform that he was on. Yeah. He's a clout chasing e-celeb, huh? But who is this guy? I don't even know who this guy is. This Pirate Man Leo? I don't know who he even is. Like, how does he even know Kitty? Leo Deepfake? Okay. Well, I wasn't looking at the file name here. It only shows me the image. Okay, so he's a fake account. Why? I mean, why are you sending this to me? Is my question. Are you just trying to derail my stream? Is that really the goal? But anyways, the irony, going back to politics, the irony of choosing Kamala Harris, it's not lost, you know. And I find it so funny that um, the media really almost didn't give that much of a rat's behind about her during the primaries. She could barely even get 3%. She barely got 3% support. She really didn't have much support from the black community, and I don't think she even had that much support from women voters. So really, choosing her seems like a very strange strategy to me in terms of if you're just looking at the numbers. It's Leo Pirate. He did the dead hooker behind the Arby's line to Ralph and got Ralph to Spurg back in Gamergate. Oh, okay. I remember hearing about that here on Bitwave. Gotcha. Okay. It's all right, Spooks. Hmm. All right. Thanks for getting me up to speed on that. I very much I'm always the last to know, so it's always good to get me up to speed on stuff. I appreciate that. So it's true. I'm always the last to know stuff. Um, but on top of that, okay, so she barely gets any support. She only got 3% of Democrats to back her. She's not even 100% black, which is the funniest part to me because Biden made two promises. Okay, so it's a fake DM. All right. That's why I said I don't know why you're sending this to me if it's fake. That's fine. Good. But Kitty, like I was just saying, because we were talking about Kitty Styles, I brought it up, who he was. But anyways, Biden made two promises that he was going to he was going to choose his VP pick at the first week of August, in the first week of August, and it was going to be a black woman. And he couldn't even fulfill both those promises. He couldn't give his choice in the first week, and she's half Indian, half Jamaican. Which, you know, Jamaican, yeah, black, half Indian. But it's like you really couldn't even fulfill your own promise that you put. You box yourself in with this requirement that you're gonna have a black woman because that's somehow magically bestows apparently female genitalia and a certain skin tone bestows magical powers that makes you qualified for a position. And he couldn't even fulfill that. He couldn't even fulfill the time frame that he promised. He couldn't fulfill the racial requirement that he put forth. And this guy wants to be president. Yeah, most screenshots are fake on Discord. That's why I pretty much ignore it. The thing with Discord is like it only shows me if I actually click on the image. Let's see. I don't even know if it shows me the file name. No, I have to go to Open Original to see the file name. So yeah, if I don't click on the Open Original itself, I'm not gonna see anything. By the way, I don't know why I'm using the main chat here. I should use the dashboard. Hold up. Let me reload the screen here. There we are. Now I'm streaming with style. I can see now the chat alerts. So, by the way, dispatch, how does that work with the coins or with the whatever? You know, how does that work? Like, is that still being worked on, or can people actually get coins now? And I had a balance of 90 coins. Why does it say 0 now? I thought I had a balance of coins. What happened? Dang nabbit, dispatch. What are you doing to me? Anyways. Click load more. Okay. Ah, Okay, thank you, sir. I see that now. But what happens with those coins? Like I have like 162 coins here, for example. Like how does that work? Do you need to connect it to something if you want to cash it out or something like that? Like what is it? Just curious. I don't know. Which, by the way, yes, if you're on Bitwave and you're not aware of this, yeah, you can do chat alerts now, and you can spend coins to have like it's like super chats basically for YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, you can do super chats. You know, anybody can participate in that. If you want to support me, that'd be great. And you know, this would be a good time for some shameless self promotion. So hey, clearly I must be mistaken. Oh way. Um, okay. All right. Good to know, Dispatch. I will see what I can do with that. I'm actually and Lemons on D Live. That's right, Illustrator. I'm trying to see. I'm actually trying to add a crypto way of donating, so it's not just that streamlabs.com/the eternal abyss donation, because that's essentially PayPal. So I'm trying to figure that out right now. I've been trying to see what I can do for that. So I can let you know. I can let you know what I want to do about that. But hey, so how about some selfless, not selfless, shameless self promotion? Hey, if you enjoy listening to me ranting and raving and complaining about YouTube, please consider following and consider supporting. So support me through streamlabs.com/theeternalabyss and follow me on all my platforms. I need the followers. I've lost like 200 followers now. I was stuck at 7,000 or so followers on Twitter for the longest time. Yes, selfless shame promotion. Great. Okay, that's good to know, Dispatch. That the records are there. Cool. But yeah, essentially, Twitter. I used to be stuck on 7,000 followers on Twitter for like 6 months, and now Twitter decided to purge a bunch of followers off of accounts, and I've been hit as well, and now I'm down by 200 or so. It's really it was a little surprising. So I need you, the people, as Bane would say. Yeah, I need you to follow. I need you to watch. I need you to support. And without you guys, there's no point in me doing the stream, really. So if you can support, that's fantastic. So please follow on all the platforms, on Twitter, on Gab, on Parlor, on Minds, on the different video streaming platforms that I'm on, Bitwave. Follow and hit the notification and all that. As well as YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification bell. D Live, Periscope. You know, follow on all the platforms, because as I just mentioned, I have no idea how long I'm going to be on these platforms if they keep doing the sort of censorship and the sort of craziness and nuttiness that they do. Things may settle down after the election, because that's basically when the social media platforms go even crazier, because they think that election interference is a proper way of, hey, jingles change. I got a notice here, a chat alert. Oh, why isn't it showing up? That's weird. Huh. Maybe there's a slight delay. I don't know. But, yeah. That's basically what it boils down to is, just don't mention mystery drug X and you'll be golden. Okay, good to know. Alright, refreshing. According to what Dispatch is telling me. No change, sir. I don't see any change right now. But that's fine. But yeah, support me. any kind of support is great. Followers and viewers are actually, you know, I welcome that more than any sort of financial support at the moment, to be honest. The more viewers I get, the more exposure I get, the better. So that's what I would ask in my shameless self-promotion segment here. So I honestly, going back to the whole thing about Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, I really don't think that that's going to do much to help. I don't think it's going to help his campaign much. It's, in fact, it's her problems are only going to be magnified now from the primaries. They're just going to be magnified, and she's gonna be called out on the hypocrisy of her statements during the primaries. That's really what's gonna happen. Get an Ethereum address. Hey, intruder, thank you for that alert. Much appreciated. Yeah, I'm looking into that. I'm looking into like a couple different crypto options. So there's a lot out there. That's the thing. Well, all she's gonna do is lie, because that's what she did during the primaries. And I don't think, I mean, he's lied. Biden has lied, and she lies. So it's basically gonna be liar and liar on the ticket, and I don't think that's gonna benefit them long term. Because really, it's not gonna make their ticket any better. MetaMask? Okay, intruder. Let me look into that. I'll look into that. And while Joe Biden is stumbling and bumbling all over the place, I don't think it's hooked up right. Jiggle handle. Yeah. Trump is negotiating world peace. Okay, the reason why I find this incredibly funny is because everybody was gonna say when Trump was running, and when Trump won, it's gonna be the end of the world. He's gonna cause World War III. He's gonna not launch the nukes. And all that Obama did was say a couple things in speeches. They gave him the Nobel Peace Prize. This guy is actually negotiating peace in the Middle East. And how much do you want to guarantee? How much do you want to bet that he's not going to even get a Nobel Peace Prize? But who cares about the Nobel Peace Prize? The fact that they just give it away like that to Obama for no reason, it's meaningless at this point. It doesn't hold any value. But apart from that, it's the principle of the matter. And now there's even more news here. You got regarding that whole thing. Let me bring that up. Let's see here. I had brought this up. Oh, this is what the news article was. Is that this is from Reuters. Israel says it expects Bahrain and Oman to follow the UAE in formalizing ties. So this is huge. Okay, this is historic. This is massive. That this normalizing relations in the Middle East between Israel, the United Arab Emirates, is a ginormous step in the right direction of peace. Of course, it's no guarantee that you will have peace in the Middle East, but the fact that you have a more normalized diplomatic relationship between these countries is a huge step in the right direction. Now, whether you like Trump or not, you have to admit that. You have to admit that this is something that's absolutely epic. And the question that I ask to anybody is, previous presidents and current running for trying to be president, like Biden, do you think that these people could have negotiated this? Give you a moment of pause while I drink my coffee to think about that question. Well, there you go. No. Because they had their chance. Biden and Obama had their chance. They blew it. They forced the stupid Iran deal, which was a failure from the beginning. Other presidents before him, Bush, W. Bush, Bush Sr., even Reagan. I mean, as much as Reagan is considered a really great president, he didn't get to this point. He wasn't able to help this situation. Ever since there has been conflict in the Middle East between Israel, Palestine, and all these different countries, which, apart from the long history of non-peace that has existed in the Middle East, we're talking about more recent, like World War I, World War II, all the cutting of the lands and how all that kind of also exasperated the situation over there. This is huge. This is absolutely huge. And whether you like Trump or not, you have to give him credit for this one. United Arab Emirates and Israel, everybody is saying that he played a crucial role in the negotiations. And now you have other countries that are being expected to join in on this. I mean, this is amazing. This is amazing. I say dance counts as work, Meave. Yeah, Trump is putting the left in a position that they oppose Middle East peace treaties. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. And Biden, and you know what's trending on Twitter? That Biden is doing something dumb with Cardi B. That's what's that's what's trending with Biden while Trump is negotiating peace in the Middle East. I mean, come on. Is there really any contest for this election? But still, don't be complacent, kids. Don't. But anyways, I just find that mind blowing. I find that absolutely mind blowing. However, I will give Biden credit for one thing. You know, over the weekend here, Trump's brother passed away. Donald Trump's brother passed away. Robert Trump, his younger brother. He passed away at the age of 71. And Trump's statement to that was that he was not just my brother, he was my best friend. And Joe Biden tweeted out a heartfelt condolence to Trump, and I'm gonna give him credit for that. You know, Joe Biden tweeted out, "Mr. President, Jill and I are sad to learn of your younger brother Robert's passing. I know the tremendous pain of losing a loved one, and I know how important family is in moments like these. I hope you know that our prayers are with you all." And I'm going to give credit for Joe. I mean, as much as I don't agree with Joe, and I don't think he's a good candidate, and he probably is suffering from dementia and things like that, that was classy. That was respectful. That was a nice gesture. And I'm going to give him credit for that. That's a very nice thing for him to do. And I don't know many people who would do that when they oppose an individual, but they would still reach out and express condolences when they lose a loved one. On the other hand, you have a lot of scum on Twitter which were wishing that it was Trump that died instead of his brother. I mean, those people to me are irredeemable. Like you have people like this Krasenstein fake account basically who even with Trump losing a brother, she is just complete trash. You know, I'm not even gonna read her tweet because I'm not gonna give her that exposure. But that's sad, and I also express my condolences towards the Trump family for that. Losing a loved one is never an easy thing. It's always a tragic thing, and yeah, I do send my condolences to the Trump family for that, and I hope that you know they can move on. Simple. I'm not sure exactly what the cause was. I don't know. I don't know if they already released because I before they weren't releasing the cause. Let's see. I'm looking at the Reuters article to see if there's anything. Let's see here. Do 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 do. I don't think they say anything here. Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing that specifically says what was the cause of death. So I don't know. Once that comes out, maybe we can get some information about that. But there hasn't been anything in regards to that. I just wanted to see if that article said anything at all. So let's see here. What else is there to talk about? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happened, but also things that are going on right now. There's been constant talk about the mail-in fraud, the mail-in ballot fraud issue. There's been a lot of debate regarding that. So there's a lot of issue with that. And sorry for the pauses here. I'm just kind of getting myself situated for like some things that I want to read. But the Detroit News came out with some interesting information that like another 2,225 ballots were discarded because there was no signature on the envelope. 1,111 were rejected because the voter moved, and 846 were not accepted because the voter was dead. Um, so this is one thing to note about this, though. Wasn't just that ballots were sent to dead people; they were alive and it was sent to them. Because it says the individuals listed as dead or moved include voters who died or moved out of the jurisdiction after submitting their absentee ballots. So it's not just that they sent it to people that were dead, though there have been reports of that. The number of deceased voters is actually less than in November 2016 election when 1,782 absentee ballots were rejected because the voter had died in an election that had 400,000 fewer absentee ballots than the August 4th primary. But the thing is, I mean, this is a problem when it comes to mail-in ballots. Is that and the funny thing is, you have people protesting out on the streets. Oh, we want mail-in ballots. but you're okay with going in person to protest. I find that a bit ironic. Uh, just saying. I mean, if you could show up to a protest, you could probably show up at the polls. Yeah, I had read that Robert Trump had been hospitalized several times. Yeah, so, oh, Vox, yeah. I never have dispatch. I have never mailed in my ballot. I have always preferred to go in person to vote. And I think that with all the problems that the voter rolls have that are inaccurate, you have reports of ballots going to people, and there's no real way of verifying who these people are. I think that for the integrity of an election, I don't think it's unreasonable. Yeah, trusting the parcel service to get your vote there in time. That too. Uh, but it's more of an identity verification issue to me. It's not so much the mail issue. It's very easy. There have been ballot harvesting, ballots thrown in in garbage dumps. There have been ballots sent to pets. It's it's like, come on, forget the politics of it for a moment. Let's just completely ignore the politics of it. Why is it complicated to want a some integrity in the election? Why is it complicated? Yeah, Google. I'm sure, Runer. Are you saying my rabbit shouldn't have a vote? Is your rabbit an American citizen? That's the question. I don't know. I mean, hey, if I can register pets to vote, I mean that would be fascinating. He was born here. Well, maybe he should have a right to vote then. Maybe we should have a campaign to a suffrage campaign for bunnies. I, I guess I don't know. No, but the point is this: like, regardless of what your politics are, my opinion is, wouldn't it be beneficial to everybody? Wouldn't it be beneficial to everybody if the election was up and up, that there was integrity, that there wasn't any fraud? Wouldn't it be beneficial to everybody? I'm not saying that the Democrats are smart and have figured out how to game the system with an army of voting. I am saying that election fraud exists. It has existed for a long time. This isn't anything new. John F. Kennedy got a bunch of votes from people that were deceased. Hi, Mom Patch, by the way. Welcome to the stream. Always glad to have you. I hope you have your coffee. I'm pretty much almost finished with mine. Actually, I am finished with mine. I just finished my last drop. I would rather both, Dispatch. It's not a one or the other for me. I want my elections to be all on the up and up, and I want that in that process of the elections being up and up, that the counting is accurate. That's part of the deal. I know zombie voters interfering with elections. That's that's great, Mom Patch. Time for more. Yeah, I have a big mug that works that basically is the equivalent of two mugs, so I already had 2 cups of coffee in the stream alone. That I think I think that's good for now. I want accurate voting, period. And if they can't do that in person, they can't do that, especially with mail-in, because mail-in, it's easier for people to grab stuff, do ballot harvesting and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Then I would say, then let's just do the what's the most effective method. Well, I'm glad I can provide that fix for you, Mom Patch. I've been out for a week, so I haven't been able to stream, but I am now. I'm back. Yes, I would want the most effective. No, well, maybe, but the problem with the website is you have to. There may be ways to do that with the website. I'm not saying that a website would not work, but I would say, is that a hamster on a plate? Oh my gosh. You know, but the thing is this, instead of a website, you could just go. You can just go to the polls and vote. You don't need a website for it. Elections have been happening for a very long time. All you need to do is go, you tick the thing, you show your ID, and what you can integrate technology into that. Like, you could have a voter ID card that you have to put in when you vote, and it'll mark that you voted, so only one vote per person. Well, you better go to in-person dispatch. Everybody has a life, more or less, except for Kitty. But you know, the sun won't harm you, dispatch. A lot of people shouldn't show up to the poll. Well, that's one big problem too, is actually voter participation has been going down for a very long time. And that's why you have very poor candidates that are being elected, because you don't have informed voters. You don't have voters that are invested. You have people that are complacent, which is why I always tell people, don't be complacent. I hate your argument. But it's true. Just go. There's nothing preventing you from going, unless you have some sort of serious illness or disability. But that's what absentee ballots are for. If you have a justified reason for not being able to go in person, then you can apply for the absentee ballots. I realize that is a more realistic answer for what will work, but it's dumb. You know, counting is really... I agree with you, Dispatch, that the counting process is poor. I think that the counting process really needs to be revamped for verification. You have fraud that happens during the counting, too. There's a lot of points of failure. Yeah, it's very mismanaged, Neomorph. And that's what I'm saying. I say overall, there's a lot of problems. There's a lot of points of failure. There's a lot of issues. So try to simplify it. Is my suggestion. Simplify it. Reduce points of failure. Have methods of verification. Methods of verification for people voting, for the counting, for everything, for transportation. Man, if everyone exercised their right to vote, the political landscape would be far different. It would be far different. And if you had a system that would allow for that, that would reduce any sort of fraud or issue, yeah, I say simplify and verify. Yes, sir. That's right, Dispatch. I don't think so, Dispatch. I think... Hey, Destructor. Welcome to the stream. I don't think they're at odds with each other. I think that, you know, you can introduce a certain level of simplicity into the... I'm doing well. Thank you, Destructor. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I think that you can introduce some simplicity into the process, because the more complex the process, the more varieties of voting that you have. Why is that dumb though? I don't understand. Like, what's so dumb about going and just voting? Yeah, but you had to be there to fill out the Scantron though. And your college could grade a 100 question finals in hours, and even the Scantrons weren't always accurate. I remember dealing with that too. Well, see, Dispatch, the problem with the driver's licenses is that you have people like in California and in New Jersey and New York that they're giving driver's license to people that do not qualify to have a driver's license, that are not American citizens. So now you have driver's licenses for people that should not be voting. No, it's not extra work. It is not extra work. Going to vote is not extra work. Scantrons are not accurate. I've had issues with Scantrons where I had to go and argue because the machine didn't read the answer properly, or there was an eraser mark or something like that. Well, listen, Dispatch. Showing up in person may be extra work for you. For me, it's not. Yeah, I know, right, Mom Patch? Someone who can't get their polling system working on their website wants to lecture people on voting. I love chat. It's not extra work. You is going to the supermarket to buy food extra work? I know, going to some polling station once a year. Not even once a year, once every 4 years or once every 2 years. Going out to the supermarket is extra work. Well, listen, Dispatch, we're gonna have to agree to disagree on that point. Time away from Bitwave is extra work. Well, listen. All I can tell you is this. I don't think it's complicated that once every so many years you go and just fill out a little form, or you tap a little screen or something like that. To me, it's not complicated. And I think that there are ways to ensure that people that are voting should be voting and people that should not be voting should not be voting. Well, that's I see a need, because I need to verify if you go to vote, I need to verify that you indeed are voting. That you, Xander, is voting. And if I can't verify that you are you, how do I know that your vote is valid? That's the question. See, it boils down to that. It boils down to verification. It boils down to if you can vote from home and verify somehow. Well, because your license plate is not the same. It's a different system. You're talking about two different systems here. I agree with that, Illustrator. Well, I'm not saying that verification always happens in person. That's why I'm saying that there has to be a verification process. I'm not saying that it always happens in person, because now you've had points of failure introduced into that as well. Maybe, intruder, maybe. As am I, but the system that works may involve going there in person. I don't think going in person should be eliminated from how voting happens. That's all I am saying. I think that there should be. You do have a situation where you need absentee ballots. You have a situation where people can go in person. You have a situation where people have disabilities. You have a situation where maybe you can use some technology. You have a situation where you need to have some sort of verification process in place. You need a post-election process to ensure that the counting is accurate, that no fraud is happening there, that things are transported properly as well, that no fraud is happening in the transportation of ballots. Well, of course you can. That's true, Troll 847. You could have 100% accuracy and still end up with terrible leaders. Absolutely. There's no guarantee that people will vote well and they'll vote for good candidates. There's no guarantee of that. But at least you can have some integrity in the system. You can have an election and a voting system and a polling system that at least makes it that American citizens, for example, vote for their American president. Well, this isn't a pure democracy anyways. It's a constitutional republic. It's a representative government. It's not a pure democracy, because pure democracy ends up being mob rule. And mob rule never really works long term. That's what it boils down to. Yeah. There is a better of two choices usually, yeah. Um, I don't know about that, Psychobliet. I'm not too sure about that, because the only reason people are bringing it up now is because uh you have people that are wanting to commit fraud because they are desperate to not have Trump win. No, this is not a pure democracy. Not at all. You have a very few people that are running the show here. You have a small percentage of participation in elections. So at the end of the day, there's nothing pure democracy about it. Not at all. I don't agree with that in the least. But anyways, we talked a lot about that. Let me move on to some other topics that I wanted to just cover here. Um, some other things that are going on here is let's see. I had this news item up and it disappeared on me here. What happened? Yeah, this is another stupid thing that's happening right now. Well, two items that I wanted to talk about. So you have like the former FBI lawyer Kevin Kleinsmith. He pled guilty in falsifying the Russia probe document. So now there's no doubt here. This is something that the conservatives and the right has been saying for a very long time, that this whole Russia thing was just a hoax. It was fake, it was garbage, it was ridiculous. The Steele dossier was all crap. And now you have a lawyer who is not a small bit player, by the way. This is someone who worked with Strzok, worked with other people in the FBI. He pleads guilty to falsifying the Russia probe documents. So this whole thing for 2-3 years, this Russia, 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 was all garbage. was all fake, was all nonsense. It was all political theater. And the news organizations, the mainstream media, are aptly called fake news for that reason. These people kept promoting a hoax in the hopes of undoing an election, which is not only unethical, to say the least, but their licenses should be taken. Their protections should be removed at this point. They should be liable for what they did. It is a disgrace. It is a disgrace that people in the FBI would do this. And this weaponization of the FBI and these people, this happened during the Obama administration. I mean, let's just be honest here. All this went down during the campaign, before Trump was elected. And now you're starting to hear people getting prosecuted. You're starting to see people with, pleading guilty to this sort of stuff, which proves conservatives right. Again, of what we were talking about, that this whole Russia thing was bullcrap from the very beginning. It was all it was used for was trying to take down Trump and do a soft coup. That's really what it was. And there you have it. Evidence right there. And the sad part is this. This is what's sad to me, that people are going to look at this and still go, oh no, he's still colluded with Russia, because some of these people are just out of their minds. And it's sad. It's really sad to me that there are some people out there that no matter what evidence you put before them, they're just gonna do it. They're just gonna believe that. Interesting thing that's come down also in the news are endorsements. You have the NYPD union endorse Trump. NYPD union, yeah. They endorse Trump. Biden is endorsed by the USPS union. I didn't even know that the USPS had their own union. So that's interesting. I find that interesting on both sides. I don't know if it really is gonna sway most or anybody. I don't know if it's gonna do any swaying whatsoever. But it's interesting that the NYPD union would view Trump as more of the law and order president and provide their support for him. While the post office, which everybody has wonderful experiences with, I'm sure, has endorsed Biden. I don't know if that's a glowing endorsement, but hey, it's interesting. It's an interesting contrast, is all I'm saying. I find that fascinating. Other thing that's going on regarding the USPS is you have Pelosi recalling the House to investigate the USPS because she wants the Postmaster General to testify. And she also wants the House to vote on a bill that would stop changes at the Postal Service. I mean, this is ridiculous. When it came to giving money to people who were desperate and needed it, she didn't want to bring people in. But this idiocy and bull crap regarding the USPS, that she has to bring everybody in for that and vote on that. But the American people, screw them. Screw the plebs. Why worry about them? What, they need money, they're not working? Whatever. No biggie. I don't care. It was an email, not a ton of documents. They have proven Russia tampered, interfered with the election. Maybe Trump himself had no hand in it. Trump himself had no hand in it. It's not a matter of maybe. Trump's campaign was spied on. This whole Russia collusion thing was bullcrap from the very beginning. You had I did not say that, Neomorph. Oh no, don't dox salami with your mom in chat. Dispatch, no, what are you doing? Oh no. Oh my goodness. The site is going down really fast. No, this whole Russia thing was garbage from the beginning. Okay? Sure, did Russia buy ads? Yeah. Okay. But did Obama try to interfere in Israel's elections? Yes. Yet somehow nobody had an issue with that at the time. That they're dropping flyers and they're trying to make it so Netanyahu would lose. I mean, come on. Let's be honest, okay? You have countries that will try and poke and do stuff online, sure. Did they affect any of the polls? I don't think so. There was no evidence that showed I'm not clicking on that. But anyway. Mamma mia, that's a big salsicha. I'm sure Mom Patch is very proud. See, you guys just derail my stream every single time here. But anyways, what was I even talking about now? Oh yeah, the Russia thing. Yeah, countries will. There's no evidence that shows that what Russia or China or other countries did, buying ads, what have you, it didn't have a major impact. It didn't sway people because really Hillary was a garbage candidate. Excuse me. And all the polls were fake, and those were all here, made in the USA. So it is what it is when it comes to the election. And if social media wants to take steps in preventing ads being bought by foreign powers, great. I'm not opposed to that. If you want to tell me that some ads on Facebook swayed the election, I'm sorry, that's bullcrap. There is no evidence that really shows that. And nobody told me who to vote for except for me. I looked at the candidates, I looked at the policies, I looked at everything, and that's who I ended up voting for. I don't know where you're getting that statistic because honestly, I find it ironic that the polls are exactly the same as they were with Hillary. I find that a little interesting. It's a weird coincidence that the numbers are exactly the same as they were claiming with Hillary versus Trump. So, and the rallies and the support that Trump has and the amount of donations that Trump is getting, he is outmaneuvering Biden in many ways. So I don't really I don't want to rely on polls much because unfortunately polls have a tendency to not be reliable. So I'm not really looking at those numbers too much. Yeah, a lot of it seems to be just made up numbers. Yeah, and there's even evidence that shows that when pollsters are getting their polls, the majority of the people that they're asking are more left leaning and Democrats. So of course you're gonna have polls that skew left. Of course that's gonna happen. So you know what? I don't discount polls entirely, but because of what happened last election, you got to take all those numbers with a grain of salt. I think that Trump's ground game is better. Trump actually has a ground game right now. Biden does not. Biden can't even stick to his own promises of choosing a black woman. He chose Kamala Harris, who's half black, half Indian. He couldn't even stick to the timeline that he put down. He can't even string two words together. I mean, the guy just is a mess. There is no enthusiasm on the left when it comes to Biden. A lot of I know people on the left and Democrats, and a lot of people are really holding their nose when it comes to Biden. Yeah. So it's not looking good in my opinion for Biden. And it's not looking good for the left when their policies are removing police from communities, defunding police, not wanting to give money to people who need it. When they're just extolling socialism and communist policies. I mean, the left has gone incredibly weirdly like socialist and way like extreme left. And the only people that support such a far left like laundry list of policies are just these hardcore extreme leftists. And that's about statistically speaking, from what I've read, about a third of all Democrats. So they'll get the core Democrat hardcore socialist votes, sure. Yeah, they will. But you're gonna have people that were pissed off about the whole Bernie thing because Bernie once again took it up the ass, basically. I mean, the guy probably walks funny at this point of how many times the DNC has screwed him. So you have people that you lost a percentile of Bernie voters. You lost a large percentile of more moderate, middle of the road Democrats because the party left them behind. The Democrat Party today is not the same Democrat Party of even Obama, honestly. It's gone even farther left than that. What illustrator? So I don't know. I think that the Democrats have a very hard time on their hands now, where Brown got Tim Pool to vote Trump. Really, I didn't know Tim Pool decided to vote Trump. I think the Democrats have a very hard time getting a coalition together. Well, I'm honored to be compared to that. Oh, the election night meltdown is gonna be it's gonna this meltdown is gonna make the previous meltdown pale in comparison. I'm not gonna read that article. I didn't. I read part of that actually. Didn't I read part of that, Illustrator? I thought I read part of that article. I thought I did read part of that. Buy ammo, people. You may have to. Yeah, I don't know. You may have to. I mean, have you heard the statistics? There's been ammo shortages at gun stores, and most gun ownership has been like the gun ownership rate has skyrocketed. Oh yeah, it's pretty crazy what's happening right now because of all the insanity that's going on with the rioting and the violent protests that have been going on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's a lot of people have decided to get a gun. I've spoken to some because I was curious about it. So I spoke to some police officers about it because I had the opportunity, and they were telling me, yeah, they're like every day they're getting applications for like concealed carry and stuff like that. Yeah, but this time it's really skyrocketing compared to the other years. It's really something. Hey MZ, how you doing? I don't know if she's in the stream or not. But hey, so it's pretty amazing that the numbers that are happening like now far outdo the numbers in the past. So I think I think we're at a good point here to conclude the stream. It's about lunchtime. I got stuff that I gotta do. I got stuff I gotta take care of here. I have a life beyond streaming. So so I think we're gonna conclude right here, guys. I wanna thank everybody. I want to thank everybody for watching on all the various platforms. I want to thank everybody for watching on Bitwave. I want to thank everybody for watching on Periscope, DLive, and YouTube. Let's see if this video gets removed or not. Who knows? Hey, Duncan, Idaho. Hey, MZ. How you doing? Too bad you got here now. I'm about to conclude the stream. Mail-in streaming? What? How does that work? Mail-in streaming, MALE. How does that work, Dispatch? Mike Lindell, 2024. I don't know. My pillow guy, yeah. He's got some good pillows. But it'll be verified mails only, no traps. Okay. At least it's verified. At least it's verified. But but I gotta conclude the stream, guys. Thanks, kids, for watching on all the platforms. Remember, follow on all the platforms. Support if you can. It's really appreciated. The best support I can get is growing the stream, growing my audience, growing my followers on all my different platforms. That's the best thing you could do to help me out. And as always, kids, I conclude with my usual parting words. Don't be complacent. Gotta go out there. You gotta spread the good word. Oh, hello everybody. I'm so sorry. I just realized that I have not been looking at like why isn't the chat updating? What the hell happened here? The chat hasn't been updating in my stream here. Thank you for sending me the Lemons Made in USA review. Thank you so much. I don't know why the chat did not update on stream. At least not on my screen here. It didn't update properly, at least from what I'm seeing. OBS screwed it up for me. So we're going to have to look into that and fix that next time. But thank you so much for watching on DLive. Thank you, everybody. Don't be complacent. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow around same time, 10 a.m. We'll talk. I'm acknowledging you, Made in USA review. I'm acknowledging you. Thank you. Have a good night, everybody. Yeah. Well, not a good night, but have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.